most essential muscle, your heart, works, how blood flows through it, and how exercise actually affects your heart. I'm a student currently enrolled at Purdue University Calumet pursuing a major in nursing. I've taken multiple semesters of anatomy and physiology covering the human heart. Understanding the heart and how exercise benefits your heart is necessary for you to maintain a healthy heart that doesn't quit on you. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to cover the basic anatomy, blood flow, and how exercise impacts your cardiovascular health. First, we're going to go over the basic anatomy. Mainly, the heart has 4 chambers, 4 valves, and 2 main blood vessels that blood is ejected from. As Winehouse stated in 2015, your top 2 chambers are your right atrium and your left atrium, and your bottom 2 are your right ventricle and your left ventricle. As stated by McKinley, the left ventricle is distinguishable because it has a thicker myocardium or muscle layer. Also stated by Winehouse, there are 2 atrioventricular valves. These separate the atria from the ventricles, and you have your right valve, your right atrioventricular valve or tricuspid valve, and you have your left atrioventricular valve, bicuspid valve, or mitral valve. The 2 main vessels are your pulmonary trunk and your aorta. These also have valves covering up their openings, and those are the pulmonary semilunar valves and the aortic semilunar valves. Now that we've covered the basic anatomy, we're going to look at how structure and function work together to pump blood. The main thing that you need to know is that blood flows in the heart in only one direction. And this one direction is kept intact by the valves. The valves prevent backflow of the blood. As stated by Levick in 2010, the right side of the heart only pumps blood to the lungs, and the left side only pumps blood to the body. Blood flow can be traced, as stated by McKinley in 2015. Blood returns to the heart via the superior and inferior vena cava to the right atrium. The heart contracts from top to bottom, so the right atrium contracts, pushing blood through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. Right ventricle then contracts, pushing the blood through the pulmonary semilunar valve out the pulmonary trunk into the lungs. The oxygenated blood then returns through pulmonary veins to the left atrium. The left atrium then contracts, pushing blood through the mitral valve to the left ventricle, and then the left ventricle contracts, pushing the blood through the aortic semilunar valve out to the body. Now that we've covered the basic anatomy and blood flow, we're going to learn how exercise affects your heart. Just like any muscle, the more that the heart works, the more likely it is to give out. As stated by the National Institute of Health in 2015, running is a great exercise because it strengthens your heart wall. A stronger heart wall means that more blood can be ejected with one pump, which means less work for the heart because it beats less times per minute. Also stated by the National Institute of Health in 2015, exercise lowers cholesterol. Cholesterol sticks to the sides of blood vessels, narrowing the space that blood has to travel through. This increases resistance and means that the heart must work harder to pump the blood. As stated by Moore in 2014, 30 minutes of exercise a day is great to keep your heart healthy. This exercise, you can determine whether it is vigorous enough by the talk or sing test. If you can sing while exercising, you're not working hard enough. If you cannot talk while exercising, you're working too hard. In the last few minutes, we've covered the basic anatomy, blood flow, and how exercise affects your heart health. Thank you for your time, and I hope you've learned a little bit more about your heart.